Talking point platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well on for tomorrow. Now we go make salute.
Yes, family, welcome back to yet another very important segment where they come through the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kagu, and today, na the 30th of October 2021. We get three main items now the show, and you will also get the opportunity for making your own contribution via text message. First, we just still look at we brothers and sisters in the Germany situation, and we'll analyze the reason why some of them will never get paper in Germany because of the clause where the UN they talk about, and the reason why again we want to encourage them and look for other options there. Secondly, we also look at the opposition parties, APC and 4 other opposition parties don't vex pan government, don't vex pan parliament for the decision for approve the newly approved Western Regional Commissioner for NEC, when ZAINAB MOSERAY. And we look at again the role of the mayor in maintaining sanity na the FREETOWN's principality. We see the cemeteries, and particularly the Kingdom Cemetery, don't become something way disgraceful. With all this and more, we can get the full details on this. Just a second, now we get more on this.
Oh yeah, Talking Point platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well on for tomorrow. Now we go make salute.
Yes, so family, let me start from the first topic where we just mentioned to now about the current situation where they happen in Germany, where we brothers and sisters, and for quite some time now, don't they protest, don't they sleep in the streets. They ask the German government for reconsider, and also some of them they trade blame, and they blame we even your government for their situation. And first, but let me just try for understand, because sometimes I mean we're not there for defend government, we're not there for I mean laugh we brothers and sisters in the situation. This is a delicate situation, a very complex. We there for sympathize with them, but at the same time we just want to state facts. The reason why some people in Germany they will never get paper because of the clause. First thing first, I want to let people understand there is a convention where allowed Western government and other governments then we signed to this when at the 1951 Geneva Convention, where they protect people where they run from persecution. But first, let me try for understand why the clause here. Now we're going a little bit in details. Now, what's in this clause between the 1951 Convention? Let me understand that clearly first. It defines refugee. It means refugee as somebody where they run from persecution, somebody where in life they are threats, somebody where the government where it command not able protector, somebody where because of a religious affiliation, in political affiliation, in social affiliation, not a permit them for let live. Now that country they make it run away, they look for refuge. Refugee means refuge, somebody they look for safety. Now in this. Now, apart from the first one what we talk about, where the country, the 1951, where this convention take place, now also another protocol when 1967. Now, The 1967 Protocol on Refugee pulled the geographical limitation. So meaning that anybody, anywhere, you can move from one country or one continent and go. But again, just like what I try for talk, let me try to understand deeply what a refugee. Now, the Article 1 of the convention defined a refugee, just like what a person where they're outside of the country. So a person where gets no other way because of his color or because of in religion or because of nationality or because he didn't associate a particular group or because of the country where they know they're able to protect her, a fear for a life. Now this then called refugee under the convention. Now we understand first. So sometimes we brothers and sisters that the case the way they go bring go, where they take sometimes all water. And when we move a little bit, so now the responsibility of the host government, whose side that person they, but by law, by protocol, when you say refugee, the first port of call now they for seek refuge. According to the law, this not to be said, this is what the law states. The first port of call, let's say for example, come up from Salon. If you slam na Turkey or Islam na Italy, that is the place where you have to seek asylum. You have to seek refuge according to the law. But by moving, you go to another, you don't create another very difficult, complex situation. And most of our brothers and sisters, where they in other parts, these are people, some of them themselves can confess, they come up from other places where they go. Now, again, law move a little bit, law understand. Now, the host government get the right for protect you because more than 150 countries then signed to this. But however, we see of recent time, the Western countries, the far right, people were more or less not happy. The citizens and the governments, the opposition parties within the country are not happy with the influx or the manner in which in the sea, a lot and lot of people in the camp. But the reason why they don't come for can discover, say, now most of the people where they come, these are not refugees. In other words, their lives are not in danger, as the clause of the UN HCR they talk about. These are people where they call economic migrants. Now, so the economic migrants then describe them as this, that these are people that they don't confuse the system for them. In other words, it's difficult for them to ascertain or differentiate between the person when an actual refugee, where they run from persecution, from anything they don't talk about, and to the person where because of get work in a country or because get thing for it or because things trying in a country, so they decide for use this loophole. So now that makes the thing don't become difficult for brothers and sisters there because more and more people and they come up. And the worst of the stories in back where they bring come, it more or less are the same. And if you don't fall within the bracket of other than census refugee, then it don't become difficult because we don't talk about the issues then several times. Now, if you say that they want to tell you in a salon because of you come up from a different political party, you need to establish that party, which is political asylum, which is very good. But if you say that they want to tell you because of religious, you get for approval. And again, the people and then they do research. They know say salon. We get things say yes where they know it, but one thing about if you go to case on religious problem that's being that you like their threat because of your religion affiliation, and we not get that in a salon with government then will tell you say this case is very difficult. And now we move a little bit, now try to understand. Now, the economic migrants, normally, according to the definition, where they talk about, they live in country voluntary and seek a better life. So, this for them is challenging. And the refugee, not only the refugee, they run because in life they are threats. So this now so them try for define right now. So that make it very, very difficult for a lot of brothers and sisters there. But before we continue for analyze, explain this better, let me listen to one brother when he said they can seek asylum. That was way back. In advice we get to Sierra Leoneans. Take a look at this gentleman from Holland, where they advise with brothers and sisters in Germany. Lord, listen up.
On a good morning, Sierra Leone. A good morning all over the world. It's not morning this and and I will interchange this. We shall this canteen, I mean, hotel canteen, inside the walk at the canteen as it also. I want to advise me brother they will do about Germany and sisters them will do about Germany. We love on all, bro. We love on all. We do to struggle. Me, some of Bondo, we see those who talk to na, I do to struggle. I they understand on a struggle. I know to not defend for go in border them. But one advice on you now all we did in a Germany day, including me border day by all day and all and to we. Siam, but that demonstration, the Allah, all man they talk, all man they give your views about what happened. My brother and sister them. You see, like we don't care from 1996, 97, we don't return country here. We do not see the place in Germany when I get for accept them. I like it or not. I get for accept them. They need deport now. I'm not afraid. I don't need deport now. The only mistake we all they make, una Sierra Leoneans, we Sierra Leoneans them. Brothers and sisters, mama and papa, granny, old pa, old mommy, this start young girl, begin. The mistake all they make none of this. Make I tell now. I get my friend from Nigeria, Michael. And look me pin, say some mundo, now say yes, Mike. He say una senior citizen de Brazil. Senior citizens Brazil. That means senior citizen by refugee business. Because waiting the embassy they fed for una so for. At the end of the the embassy wanted to deport we. The embassy don't go take money. It happened to win in Holland. Una shut up on the day. It happened to win in Holland. Who now they pan a demonstration this so na Germany was see as he faces them. 60% of now they demonstrate to Sierra Leoneans. I can tell you today. We don't accept this. To Sierra Leoneans them 60%. Hey, Guinea man get passport. Now Europe on the saloon. Ghana man get passport on the saloon. Nigeria man get passport on the saloon. Sudanese get passport on the saloon. Plenty. We are one of the first people in way END in the Netherlands, than the immigration department, we write for the word tal. Tal means language. For proving if we not Sierra Leone come out. That prove the important to today me get people in Europe like that too. Because me they may take me as Nigerian. I can't tell you today. Why can Holland they see me as Nigerian? They came me go take to deportation. Na Rotterdam airport. For deport me go Nigeria, me not to Nigeria man. Now God make that end the Holland be done from this council. Where them bring all countries in Africa where they represent now this nation who the Netherlands can represent and country them. So they may get a big panel with them sit down, they call them tal. That means for going to language, when they tell me that they're afraid. Because that they also be broke the Netherlands with it. Afraid, I say, well, this I not go pass. Where I go? Then lock in a cell. Then but now they make mistake by this boku talk on the Germany. Then lock in a cell. When they lock in a cell, we all inside cell. For can deport we go Nigeria, the plane car don't land with the Siam from the airport inside the jail day. A cell they lock we. When they lock in a cell day, I did it 3 o'clock afternoon. 9 million reach for come before the judge. That judge they be able to judge you. Na panel of Africans from the embassies that then come at Rotterdam and sit down and listen to this. And then call me Samabondo from Sierra Leone. Yes, sir. Put me in there, put me the court wing, then put me inside the small box and lock them. I used me up, swear to the Bible. A Sierra Leone come out or not to Sierra Leone, a Sierra Leone come out. Which in a name again, I see Samabondo. Who say born, I tell them. Because like who can I not like refugee age? I don't 52 years. I don't like me age I can this country. Direct age in Asi. So now the mistake that Bokupa we make, because most of them don't know where the channel we from Africa for Kaya, who come, they tell we different story them. It been tough for like man like me forget people. Because Nigeria man they don't can see come. Guinea man they don't can see come. But couldn't fool about the off and down. Germany we are already in the fittest Sierra Leoneans inside Holland they this SSSF. And the fittest Sierra Leoneans them. because they don't get their passport. The one they get Sierra Leone and they don't get. And the strain. But that thing they do for una Germany. And that the embassy want do for una Germany. Una go with the embassy. Now una embassy and get for talk for una. This boku talk una they go hala. The embassy don't want this. They don't can take money now. APC not take money. Tijan Kaba no been take money. Who that do not take money with the country with man? Who's government Africa? All government they take money, but the government no can't tell una send for deport una. So una listen to una embassy, una walk to una embassy. Let the embassy prove who done the real Sierra Leoneans among una. That's the big una for me, both of them. Are they by the way they are so? You know that Andy. You don't think that Germany they don't give people a guy who give people in Holland. Keep quiet, my friend. Refugee business to easy thing. Are they by land them over and say? Una go through the tal. Una go through the tal and test una all. Now no be fish. Now pick the fish from the bone. Now in the one do. Beaucoup people know si kasala mozzarella. Yeah, my brother and sister them. They are the big una. Una get this common understanding say not to deportation, not to deport the one deportation, the one no. So I come back to Sabin day on the discussion. When they came go that tal in Rotterdam airport. Now they ask me, they say, who's I born in Sierra Leone? You know what I do now? Automatic, I don't know. Now I talk. Now say, Tinyale Moyamba Tego, Pamumi Angi. Now the Uma wish she done pan the panel when a Sierra Leone and then two, in one Mr. Goodwin, we been in the embassy in Belgium, and then been in a panel. In immigrant Roma. Now he say, he say, you not two born Sierra Leone? Now say, yes. He say, who's I born? I say, abon na moyamba, men na moyamba, I go school half na moyamba and Tayama, I don't na FREETOWN. I say, okay. You see, how you call cassava leaf pamendi? Na say saki, we peut-être leaf. I say, Jola, Ngingi, Bondi, I begin calling the places again for her. Now I know Sirimina Mendig Bing Bing. Now I turn to the panelists, Sudanese, now I been the head of the Africans within the panel. Now I turn to, I say, true born Sierra Leonean. Case closed. How long you don't there? Now I tell them. I say I don't born picking here. I don't work at this country, I pay tax at this country. Church did not recognize me as a legitimate Sierra Leonean refugee. I say in Nigeria. So do you have me my sister them? Do you have the big una? Una no go not to nothing. Like una go to one. Una yon tell una come so it hard, not true, compared to we on time. But we on time, then they keep winning the country that they did yifa, fiti-fata. They walk up and down, they enjoy. They give money, they leave. But no way, you know, get access for move with Sierra Leone. I accept to una talk. Without una Germany, we na Holland, you na England, France, Europe, America, Australia, Sierra Leone no they survive. Without we, they no they survive. We know that. If you will get family, then they will try for help them. The life power still, but still will get for help them. But not because you want to help your family, you come molest your embassy. You know how they talk against the government them. We see me so many Pamendi, but me, I know the support SFPP, I know the support APC. Anybody talk to me, I the support. As far as me concerned, I'm Mabundo, that SFPP, APC, I want to cut off na salon. Just like what in the happen, that useless America. Republican Democrats are the same thing as alone. SFPP, APC. SFPP where they take power, APC they threaten them, take them common power. We talk them. At the same day in America. We Democrat they take power. Republican will stand on the way, take them common power back. So they are big. My brothers and sisters in Deutschland, Germany. When I go for this thing, I'm not afraid. Some don't tell me I'm not afraid, boy. And they can go. And they can't go no say. Una don't can say. Una no big una embassy. Una the talk safe. They loud talk una talk safe. The embassy in Gambia don't see. They no go allow flight for land. Did the grace which one bring you? They come back na your country. Not to the born. Not to the born. The one bring you, they bring you come back. Make a tell today. Say no, take out. Then they drop you. Then the plane take off. What did they do? So una no big embassy. Una go big una embassy. Una talk to them people in the embassy good. Una love and respect them. And then when a people then go come out. But when I didn't want to fit them back, and then go talk for one, they say they sell on a lie. When I go, we not Sierra Leoneans who did it, we not Sierra Leoneans who did it. We not get people it. Including who don't get people. When I help you and we not get it, when I go talk, let this thing done, yeah? Let God bless you all. Nothing not go make them deport on me.
Okay, family, and that was a candid advice from one we brother, na Germany, where he said go through the refugee program. I mean, this now just a clear thing what we talk about. I mean, the situation don't become difficult if you area the temple can things can be normal. Now, with all the clauses from 1952, 1961, the clause for men for sale, forcing one away, but the European countries they don't overwhelm according to the politics, internal politics, the talk, the complaint, and it's just to become difficult now. It don't difficult for come claim any sort of asylum. It don't become difficult. If you not get your case, if your case not strong, it don't become difficult now Europe and across the world now. So this now from Sierra Leonean, we don't go through the hard time, explain, they talk to our brothers and sisters, made them take them time. Now the verification, like we talk, a lot of Sierra Leoneans, they were actually, a lot of people in there abroad, we're not to Sierra Leoneans, we get saloon passports. A lot of them. Now, I mean, these are the practical things. And whenever, if you hold a passport, you commit a crime, now that country, then they say, now they come up from. So according to from what we understand, the German government want actually define or actually confirm the amount of people where they claim sitting as Sierra Leoneans and for make them decision. Like where Samuel Komon-Tok, if white man want to deport you, then get past 199 ways, then can deport you. Then they find all kind of way. I mean, these guys and just they respect the institutions, but they know, then get to information there. Now, even when they say, they go, they, if, for example, they really want, they will just take you, since you don't see us, they then go take you care, you go back. But let me just follow the due process. I know the advice for let you go. I know the advice for let you not go. What are the advice for let you read between the lines and see and how understand your case? If you know say your case not stand chance, maybe you don't go 1 term, 2 term, you don't appeal, we don't talk about several term, it better probably look for another country. I mean, you can survive rather than risking it. But if you still get chance, maybe you get another appeal for bill, another case, of course, you go there and identify you. Because identifying doesn't necessarily mean saying they will deport you. You understand? There are procedures there. And again, the government of Salome, we don't repeat it many times, they have little or nothing. Absolutely. Then get little. The government of Salome will talk to the German government for saying, now give them paper. Then people have paper. The government of Salon again not go say, okay, now give me them people here. Lord, we carry them go to Salon. I mean, now a fine political, like diplomatic balance they within these two entities, the European Union and the Salon government or the German particularly, because I mean, we get to understand this because not all the time will they feel saying a government responsible, and within case they are delicate. The thing where they blame the government at this point. Now, the issuance of Salon passports, many people and then abroad, I mean, across, Mrs. Rom, it's possible not to Salon person, we get Salon Ghana man, we get Salon passports. Can you imagine? I mean, sometimes they understand why we passports so cheap, and I mean, like everybody can just get them. We know, say, as continent then around the world, most countries there, then they sell passports, but then get criteria. Then get criteria. For example, you get for don't get maybe like for example the country where they sold in Ukraine, you forget like $150,000 to $200,000 investment before they go even give them passport. Other countries they like Turkey, America, or Europe, they can actually give passport, but then they get out of strong stringent requirements before ever you get there. But we own country just sound like any Jack and Jill can go to salon, pay money, and get passports. And as a result, if you commit a crime because they hold salon passports, now they get the bad name. And from the press release where the government release, the German government, they arrest a lot of people for maybe traffic offenses, drug offenses, many other offenses where hold salon passports, and they're not convincing as Sierra Leoneans, so they need assistance. So I'm not saying that maybe sometimes like waiting other people and they say government don't go take money for return people. These things we don't get to wait for approval, but we don't in a very difficult situation like this. That I make we want our brothers and sisters there to head cautiously. Now demonstration, it's fine. It's okay. Because when you demonstrate, it raises awareness. People and we get concerned, maybe humanitarian organization or even the government of Germany will consider, say, okay, these guys have been here for 11 months, 11 days, 12 days. They have been protesting, they have been sleeping on the floor. I mean, maybe they might, out of humanitarian grounds, give paper to brothers and sisters. So protest is fine. But what would advise, please let nobody know incite una for or instigate una for una go in the rampage, I mean, fed, or because I understand, say, people in the, from which we watch some of the videos there, people are still want fed the officials say, where government said they will go fed them. Someone say will beat them, someone say will slap them. I mean, you will cause more problem and more harm than good you do for yourself. But we take this one text where they come up from Hassan Khan, we say Mr. Bondo is right to say all refugees should work with the embassy. The embassy is there to represent us Leoneans, regardless of their differences. Okay, thank you, Mr. Hassan. And another one they come up from Yusuf A. Yila. This issue isn't about politics. Let the current government play its power to assist their citizens that are in Germany. Salon we love. Yes, this now they talk. Now we pull politics aside. There is no, because the embassy is not a SLPP embassy. The embassy is not an APC embassy. The embassy of Sierra Leone. There's a Sierra Leone. So now the obligation of the embassy for make them protect or they, assist or support anybody where na Sierra Leone. And part of their duty now that for identify. In fact, now that now the law, you as a Sierra Leonean, any side you did around the world, the first thing we for do for if you go to the embassy report, you get okay. Well, this not to it then our passports. It didn't have passport. And again, it na a message where you open. This not just the simple fact where a lot of people don't understand. Say you as a Sierra Leonean, you as a Sierra Leonean, any side, any country we find yourself, your first obligation now for make sure say you go report to the embassy. That's it. You report, you identify yourself. So in this case now where the problem is brothers and sisters do not get passport. They don't get passport. So because they don't get passport, now that make the identification don't become difficult. So anyway, we don't want them too much on this issue because Samuel Bondo, where we believe say the man what he say not to APC, not to SLPP, he support the struggle of brothers and sisters, but the law not the law for respect to authorities there. Or for make sure say work with the embassy, at least make them play their role. If you then go play bad now, if you then go play on the hand game now where we cause, come and go be upon them and you go turn upon them. But I feel say except otherwise, I feel say the embassy will just wish for me to deport Salon people and then take their oath because they know how they can tanga. That's so me just wish. That's what I think anyway. So let me put down the aside. Let me count the next topic. We a very sensitive this now regarding the 2023 election. Now we don't know something where don't they boil among opposition parties there. Now of recent time we get a very clear message will come up from the main opposition parties there at the country. The Sierra Leone opposition party, they all stand together because they condemn the action of Parliament for approve ZAINAB Moseray as the Western Regional Commissioner. Now, them party are APC, NGC, for C, they all declare they know they support, they totally disagree with Parliament because Madam ZAINAB Moseray as the Western Commissioner is not fit for the position. According to them, they say they not inform them. They informed anyway, but not consulted in the decision. And according to the Constitution, they even quote say the 1991 Constitution, Section 23, Section 32, subsection 3 of the 1991 Constitution. Say the members of the Electoral Commission shall be appointed after consultation with all the leaders of all registered political parties, subject to approval of Parliament. But in this case, them party they say they don't consult them, they don't ask them, they don't then just inform them. So then get a concern about this. Yeah, yeah, Doc, welcome to the show. You just joined and you go greet Fambulen. And now we just rub more on this issue. All right, let me just play the clip of Cheno Maju, the opposition, the point, the concern we didn't get about this newly approved Western Regional Commissioner. Let me listen quickly and we can try to analyze better.
I say that I agree totally with Dr. Kande Yunkela, so I will not be repeating most of what he said, but I agree with all what he did say. But I also want to add that the neck that will be taking us to 2023 as it is, all the 5 or so commissioners are going to be new kids in the block, none of them with experience. We have a new chairman, a new commissioner south, a new commissioner east, and as it is, we have vacant positions in the north and northwest. Now they are attempting to impose a new commissioner again to us in the western area. So it just shows that they have a game plan which we must resist legitimately. We must follow due process to resist illegitimacy. The power way of operating should stop. You are in the chamber today when one of those who insinuated is a beneficiary of the illegal judicial system. As the press statement read, you got to parliament, not even through a by-election. MPs were illegally removed. They are talking about women. 2 women were removed from parliament. You think you're promoting women? The Honorable Khadija Davis had to run for elections 3 times to ensure her stability in parliament. She won 110, she was petitioned. She won again. A minister destroyed ballot boxes. Elections were cancelled. Then she won again before coming to parliament. Honorable Ariana, she's not in parliament anymore. Where is the double standard coming from? You talk about women and you are punishing women. Like I said, a lot of women have been replaced. Who are they replaced by? Men. So where is the sympathy coming from? The bottom line is, there's a very important point I want to make, and that is to say, we are not under pressure from our political leaders. If we were, our political leaders are rational, they are national, and they think before they act. We sit with them and dialogue. What makes sense, they support us. But if they are convinced and they convince us, we have no option but to work with them. But in this case, it is not just the consortium, the political leaders of the consortium, but even us in parliament, as leaders and members of parliament, are independently convinced that what they did is wrong. So that is why we are with our political leaders in the same journey. We had these same political leaders when we supported the death penalty to be abolished. The same political leaders, we supported Part 4 or 5 of the Public Order Act to be amended. We are with these same leaders when we supported the state of emergency in this country. Why now they are pointing fingers at the leaders? Our leaders are supporting.
Yeah, so Fambule, that was Cheno Maju, where they put them position very strong. Now, before you come inside, Doc, let just bring some pattern where I want to let you set through a light on. We don't see the 2023 election. It get for be very critical, and another trial. We're not there for defend any political party. We're there for make comparison about APC and SLPP as how they be set up the neck boss. I want to look at this one very carefully. Let me look and think as a man. Now, okay, if Chano talk, probably they will say this is not APC or maybe this not opposition. But again, if you look at what's in the happen there, if some people don't pay attention, this now, I mean, it a cold sort of like a smoke. They feel like they see like smoke they come out from somewhere. Where maybe if you check on that, there might be some amount of fire. We'll not pray for that. But let's take a look at the appointment. Now, at the appointment, this family. Now, let me begin first. During the term of Ernest by Kroma, the net commissioners. Now, listen up. First, now the chief commissioner. Now, Kisanathop. Now, the second chief commissioner will come after Kisanathop. Now, Ali, now Mfa Ali, na bitim nima. Commissioner West, when a miata French, na Creole. Commissioner East, when a miata, again, na Kono. Commissioner North, when a Maksude, na Timni. Commissioner South, Edmond Alpha, na Mende, when at the South. Now, during EBK, we see some kind of inclusion of different tribes. Now, during President Bio, take a look at this. Now, the cities, let's make it slowly. The commissioners are followed. Now, the chief commissioner, na Mohamed Kone, na Minde. The South commissioner, when Amond Alpha, na Minde. Now, the North commissioner, when Admon Alpha, when I did the act, na Mende. The Northeast commissioner, when the East commissioner, na Marian Sia Inuma Moije, na Mende. The proposal, in fact, I approve this one, where just cause the alarm for the opposition parties and some of the opposition parties there for condemn the approval of ZAINAB Mosere, ZAINAB Mosere, I mean, this is just ridiculous because absolutely we don't expect for an institution, an entire institution, for a day like this. What now you take, given the past government, how the commissioner we are structured? I mean, the tribal balance was there. We see different, and given this particular regime, we see all the commissioners that they all are Mende. Are they only the qualified people to man those affairs, to man those office? Your take?
Yeah, I think you conclusion to your question are a very good point. Are they only? You understand? I like that part there. But I just want start for say me as somebody we believe in meritocracy. That is for give somebody something or appoint somebody based on merit. I don't care about your tribe, I don't care about your clan where you belong to or any sort of orientation, because nobody no go the way equal, even with 5 fingers them. As long as you qualify for the job, then you forget the job. So be it Mende, be it Limba, be it Timini. But to your question where you ask, are they the holy? I'm afraid absolutely no. There are other people from other sect, from other tribe and clan or whatever way you want for call them, we I believe they even get some form of electoral processes experience rather than, as if I can quote Chengnoba, new kid on the block. You understand? So I mean a very, very much not good for we country, because we leaders then just get for no say, then they host a responsibility first and foremost for peace and stability na the country. And Salon they enjoy relative peace and quiet now we country, but we also get for no say more or less we get tribalism now we country when it comes to politics. I always like to emphasize the politics part. And we leaders them get for try for do more and try for be more inclusive. You understand? Because if you come and promise the people of Sierra Leone new directions, then you ought to do things in a new and better way, better than the previous people and way them put out of government for put you. Because if the previous government, I mean, appoint how many commissioner them be they appoint? I think 5, 4 regions plus the western area EBK in days, and it try for I mean bring 2-3 tribes them for man the thing. I believe say either you match to what you do or you try for do more than waiting in do the last thing. But we leaders them we know as Salon, they hardly think about the betterment of the country, but rather they always think out in the cement them position into the thrones of power, you know, because but one thing we think you always fail, no matter what, with time and given the technology and how news the spread and other things, people they wake up. Yes, we still slow as Sierra Leoneans for wake up to the reality for no say politicians are not demigod. They are there to serve us. We get power past them, in fact. But still people they wake up. So for me, I rather prefer for see where politicians, a political party or a government work hard, give the Sierra Leonean people the basic necessities, and then you can win election easily. But if they go with certain machinations, then I'm afraid it might work, it might not work, because the people of Sierra Leone are waking up and they create unnecessary tension like the one we see right now in the country, in which opposition parties they form consortium and all, and they resist you. And for you yourself as a political party or as a politician, you're not good, because we donor partners them and development partners them, they hold the house there. Then Sese go think say, but it just can't be for let all the big major party them go join together for fair. There must be something where they do right. You understand? Because mind you, NGC is different from APC, the same for C4C. Everybody get an interest, but the development partners then go look, say, then get a rally in cause where they do. And I'm afraid those people get power. Anyhow you want to say the whether na covertly, overtly, indirect or directly, the colonial masters, if you like, or we donor partners, them still get influence over it. So I believe say now a lose-lose situation for them. Then go see say for now it's a win-win situation for we go do machinations and put to that one put and make any form of increment of salary for now get the election easily. But I'm afraid it's just a daydreaming.
All right, let me take a few texts that will come on. This one they come on from Abu Bakr Siddiq. Daramo says ZAINAB is a limber. Another one they come on. Kebe Conte say, I think ZAINAB is a limber and her husband is a Mende. All right. When I bring on a text there, we get another one they come on from Abdullah Jallo, where they say, did the opposition parties explain why they can't support the Western Areas Commissioner? All they are saying is we are not consulted. Is that enough for them not to support her? And okay, I think, yeah, well, waiting then the time for talk, then we defend themselves. Then say, according to the constitution, they say there is a clause. According to what they say there is a clause. The clause now, section 32, subsection 3 of the 1991 constitution, which say members of electoral commission shall be appointed after consultation with the leaders of all registered political parties. And this nine that point then say they were informed, but they were not consulted. If government be don't consulted, therefore don't point out their concern regarding this. Then say they're not there against women empowerment. In fact, they make down the anyway. I'm not there for talk on them. I just try for expatiate a little bit. But anyway, let me jump to the last item.
I can answer your point. We just want.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think like you rightly say, we're not there for defend any political parties. Then decision, we just want debate on something objectively. But to add to your point about the consultation, if waiting I read is accurate, I think say the political parties, the consortium, make a list of reasons them also why then they reject the lady. Aside, the consultation issue is just an issue, but they mention corruption issues and other things, the tender way it hacked. I think it's ZPPRC and other things. They mention some form of destabilization, so many other issues and scandals surrounding him. I think the opposition, they allege now be a anti-corruption commissioner and other organizations them and commissions and just try for do mopping up some form of cleaning up job for the ladies, so then you could get a clear pass. So I just urge the person for take a look at some of those reports and read and judge for yourself, because we not there for pass any judgment, but rather for disseminate whatever information is there out there.
All right, yeah. So like I say, everything information in on our hand for make a clear decision. Yes, this one again, they come up from Kebi Conte. We say the EU and the United Nations mission are in Freetown monitoring things in the country. They held a meeting yesterday with the president and the former president days before. Yes, yeah, those videos and those photos were also on social media. I think I set my eyes on those. Yeah, you're right. Can be content. When they observe, just like what Tim Doc say. I mean, overtly or covertly, these people, they know exactly what they take place in the country. Now, let me jump to the last point. This, they go directly to the Freetown mayor. The Freetown mayor, Kisoya. We find out say a lot of the time we don't blame the central government, but we see the manner in which the Freetown City Council itself they neglect their responsibility. This we go put her as a neglect because if we not able to treat who side and level the last parts not the wall that you the last resting place of that they, I mean when you travel over the overseas countries then you go on now side with respect then you go on a side with clean then you go on a side with go sit down you feel comfortable then get chairs and day then get bench and day not so you know the fear not a bush place now nice place the road in nice grass. I mean, then paved there, but we also alone when they go there, we go there first. I mean, you don't afraid for that. When you go inside the first, you don't afraid for that. Like I began me funny friend, where they talk say, when you go now white man and you go, they feel for that. You understand? I mean, the way they would say, but I mean, what's not joke no more. You understand? But Salome when you go, when you see for Salome when you go, you're afraid for that because it bushy. Take a look at this. Somebody sent this video where Mr. Phil say now we write for layer, we bring that camp. Not all time with they bash the government. And again, we got other political party there where they man some part of the country. When I look at King Tom Benigon, how he bushy, people and they take dirty go to it. This now one consensus and this. Take a look at this family.
As soon as I see, I go with the Koso now, with my family members then. So they're going to struggle. King Tom Benigon gonna do this. King Tom Benigon gonna do this. Will you imagine? Less attention. Now in Freetown City Council the pay. King Tom Benigon na in bush so. I do with this. Will you imagine? King Tom Benigon, I do with this. Will you imagine? People don't want to know. It's as if we love ones and then also. And some of you will pay tax. We pay different taxes then at national level. Don't forget this could be in our country. I go where they go so with my family members then. As you see so. We go show the struggle. Yes. With the effort with the grave diggers then. And they able access we. Because even instead of the main road where they approach you for enter the cemetery. In fact, the neighbors them where they opposite the Bengon and at the surrounding of the Bengon, they even on Sunday as a dump site. Yes, as you see so. Now what can now the work so now for left now the Bengon. We not able to discover the grave to count it all. We not able to discover late brother in grave at all. We not able to discover now go with the go soon. You see the Bengon bushy. See with the paved way for go. And the Bengon now they see so many people there. Look who the Bengon bushy. Of course, as you see, so you see vault. This is now a vault where then just it's time for church back and the main gate to the approach show. The main gate now that church so. As you see me brother, I see this me brother also. They help greatly for access. We then do them level best. Of course, the man holding at the grave side. Look at now they see so. It's a level best waiting for do. But outside the place bushy, we not blame there. We not go discover the grave. Look at. Now the main access is for enter the Bengon the people now this is so. Now they don't turn the box so. Can you imagine? Also City Council lay. Because this is not the responsibility of Freetown City Council. Can you imagine? We go what as they were now. So they don't get any employment, at least get any employment for them go to look at. Can you imagine? Yes. Up to date some of them are volunteers there. Can you imagine? They try the level best to that. You know able for discover the grave. Could you imagine? Look at them, put the logo there. Now the logo now they see so. Freetown City Council. Who saw on day? Who saw on day? This thing also they be. It's as if people don't forget about them. But look at the place bushy. So Mama Mayor, we call on you. We humbly call on you. At least you take up responsibility because this now you the head of that institution there, and now the representative, now the mayor of Freetown City Council.
Okay. What now you take, given the high level? This is just one of the Bengon. Talk about Kisio, talk about other places there. I mean, just to, sorry, because these are the last place of every mortal man.
Now the right word you use, so sorry. I mean, we country almost everything you talk about, you church, just disorganized and dysfunctional. I'm telling you. I mean, it pathetic. How much it costs for maintaining Kintombe in one way?
Thank you. I'm not going
Even
to short
people in
that.
the pay.
That's not the point. That's not the point. Continue. An officer
How
this thing
much it
called
costs?
million. Yeah.
Now $1 million, now $2 million at all not. People then they pay then local taxes. People then they pay for where then for go lay their loved one them to rest. Then they pay. So where the money then they go? I mean, you employ youth man them people them volunteer, then you make sure say you pay them well and give them tools. Because this day and age, then save their life, go no more, go give somebody cutlass for go brush almost acre of land. I mean, inside the tire. But you get tools, they all for level up grass, for cut grass. How much then tools then they cost? Sometimes it's just about dereliction of duty in which people abandon their duties or certain things. So I'm just as the person who make the video, they call on the mayor. I think myself will just echo for call on the mayor and so even the councillor, because you must get councillor where they represent the area they where go come and the office say, hey, mommy, we need funds so and so, you understand? Because now in a democracy, you represent your people. Not for just go sit down there, you sit in fees or whatever the payment structure be. Even if you need collect salary, the mere fact you accept go in a ballot box, you are a servant to the people. So yes, the mayor they have to be blamed, but I believe say you get councillors the way represents the area. They also for take responsibility. I mean, because if we don't try as much as a nation, we don't decentralize with government, like with governance system, then the local government get for do something. Just as you rightly say, not to all time papa government, but people and no say it's about council issues and now and then they then go blame government and go blame government unfairly. You understand? So I mean, I believe say the funds are there. Yes, say na poverty stricken country we dey, but the funds are there. I mean, what it takes now for just cut grass and pay the people where they work there. Not to 5 million a month if you get for pay one person there. How much you get for pay there? We all know we can't salary then a salon. But I believe say if you pay the people and then say then get their hand to month and they busy and you give them the tools, then the place go be well. And I believe say people themselves will develop this sort of conscience thing where not go dirty day. Because if they see always the place clean and they clean day, the place fence, you get 1 or 2 security there. How dare you if you go to go dirty day? If you go to go dirty, then go catch you, put in yourself safe and pay some kind of fine, then now you problem. Because abroad, not to say if the people and some man get away, not go to go dirty na street too. But because the structures don't they plastic then things that don't do say for put dirty. You say the shame by yourself now. Say the highest na 5 minutes at the meet some south for do. You don't shame by yourself. Because say the facilities there for go put. But we say we sanitation system, we garbage system na mess. And the entire country. I know say then they try outside the motorcar themselves we come wash here, they go. I mean, Salon is trending, he really are trending for see always we country hardly see something where you say, we don't try in this sector in transportation or so and so fast. No, always is like na backward no more a big go. So I believe say although I believe say citizens themselves, no matter waiting, themselves forget the responsibility and make sure say you not forget to go away dirty. Because if you go to go away the dirty in a cemetery, you they live close to the cemetery, he get for come back to you. I mean, where flood and all that thing take place when dirty they cause, they can't affect you. Where mosquitoes then go born boku pikin, they can't affect you back through malaria. They can't bet you give you malaria. So, I believe say the only thing then they say the local government get role for sensitize the people and first create the structures for make sure say the cemetery we gutter them place then they clean. And the facilities outside people and for go to away dirty, then they pay their money or their monthly dues, but also encourage them for let them use their facilities and wait to make if they not use the facilities, then decide for create dumping sites, how it will be very hazardous to them. So then that's a role. If you don't choose for the in governance position, you are a servant. And if you tire, just give way.
Yeah, let me take these two. One they come up from this one. They come up from Alfred Brewer. We say watching live from Freetown, Sierra Leone. Yeah, Alfred, you're welcome. This is a talking point platform. And this, they come up from Kebi Conte. Okay, of course, we're reading. Okay, this text different from the first one. We say not only city council, but we as Saloman themselves get bad habits. We're not afraid, Allah. How can you use the cemetery as your dumping ground? Very sad. Yeah, now that's what they talk about again. I mean, sometimes the problem of Salon that make me and okay just focus entirely for blame government, because we are all guilty in some portion. I mean, what is how? I mean, you know, the one that would take dirty go put on the cemetery. They say forget it and get for that. They forget it and get for that. Now they didn't go lay you for God's sake. For God's sake, the person they. I mean, if you or whom who said the don't person go pull dirty go put the how you feel. That person rest in place now and find a rest in place. You go pull you garbage, dirty, go put on there. This is about conscience. It's not about even about somebody has to come and tell you that don't do this. I mean, common sense. But again, it's all boiled down to the education. The campaign that I make with the call on the authorities and we concern, made them pay attention on this. This is not something very serious. We want, because like we mentioned, this thing expensive. Because look at the western and the bear, it's disgusting. You don't go, organize, they will know. You see the person where they talk to themselves, they never see the person. They never see the person grave. Because they're not, I mean, planning, burial planning, like white man they go wait, they see the land there, see by structure, by I mean the way they organize them to line to them to, I mean, oh my God, we get a lot for land. This money for spending that crypto money gonna believe say, if you reach $50,000, okay, even if you don't put at maximum $100,000, it make that place look decent, clean, every person the footpath the day where you go kind inside, they go make just my God. When you look at the money where they lost and look at some of the small job they for do, you wonder, remember which kind of motor man way, which kind of type of people like way God put in that country day. I mean, it's just too serious. But anyway, we hope and pray for more better changes, and we look forward for the time we will sit down at them platform here. They praise government, they praise mayor, they praise people, and they praise everybody. Say, Salon, we don't move to these. These are the things that we don't just sit down all the time that they talk. But again, if we not bring them car, if we not talk about them, if you are like they do good work, if we not talk like they do good work. Unless we begin to do them here with the name and shame them, maybe some amount of changes will probably take place. So, Doc, what's in your last word before we say goodbye?
Yeah, my last word, I just want to advise me fellow Sierra Leoneans, them, especially when sensitive political issues in Kinde. A lot of times, you will see people in the views the view local media, them you take AYV or 98.1 or even we Sefnaya, and the comment section then can really be very, very bitter and vitriol and pump hatredness and cause. I believe say we all not Sierra Leoneans. You know what I mean? If you go, you watch them program, then they watch because you want to learn and you want to make a honest judgment, not listen or watch the program with you mind already don't prepare, say, me I sympathize with APC or with SLPP or with NGC or mina mindema mina team watch and listen the program as a Sierra Leoneans, and whatever comments you want make sure say you make them with like somebody who is civilized, you comment a full one, give constructive comments, But again, if you go the cost bad cost them. I mean, this na social media where you don't pump and they don't go 10, 15 years down the line, you regret them or you did and go use it against you. So for young good not good the comments where some people in the make. We are not Saloma, we all let the country better. So until we meet again, Unatata.
Okay, Fambulen, until then, bye-bye.
Talking Point platform for news within our country, salon for education.